Hello, how are you today? This is Bong Soo-jung, Korean Labor Attorney. Today I'd like to talk about importing foreign domestic workers in Korea. This issue is becoming very hot issue nowadays in Korea because the President and Seoul Mayor suggest importing and some in the National Assembly, the lawmakers are considering whether to import foreign domestic workers in Korea or not. So far, we are allowed to hire Korean Chinese and only domestic Korean national in hiring as domestic workers. So there are a lot of demand, but supply is limited. So it's almost on average to hire domestic workers in Korea is about 3 million Korean won. So normal couples is too much money to afford to pay. So that is why we have very low birth rate. It's, last year the couple on average give a birth that rate is the birth rate is 0.78%, while advanced countries they keep about 1.5% on average. But in Korea we have very serious issue about the low birth rate. So to solve this issue, one of the suggestions is to use very cheap domestic foreign workers in Korea. The model of hiring is Singaporean government. They have used the foreign domestic workers more than 50 years. So they successfully controlled the foreign workers with cheap labor. Also at the same time they provide the job opportunity to those who need such a job from developing countries around in Asia. So why not Korean? So however, in importing foreign domestic workers, there are a lot of some oppositions from the human rights people, like human rights some groups. So they said any worker they are entitled to minimum wage, which is applicable to all Korean workers in Korea. It is a little bit about 2 million Korean won for each month. But domestic workers, they are scheduled, they are supposed to pay on average 800,000 Korean won. Is almost 1/3 of minimum wage. So that is not acceptable to discriminate between Korean workers and foreign workers in the case of some domestic employment. Yeah. Also, secondary, they oppose it because it will cause more illegal foreign workers when they can get a high-paying job outside. They usually run away from that house, and then it will cause a social issue. So also third issue is those Korean people who work as domestic workers, then they cannot find their job with the current price. Then it will be some social issue because those people who are working as domestic workers cannot work anymore. So in that case, it will cause social problems. So those three issues that is we have to consider seriously. I think Singaporean, the foreign domestic workers system, that is what we can learn to overcome such an issue, like possible running away from home and become illegal workers. In such a case, they prepared a certain system. So if the domestic worker run away and become illegal worker, then like household, they should keep the key money in Singaporean government, approximately 5,000 US dollars as key money. So if the domestic worker run away, then the money cannot be refunded. Also, to protect Korean domestic workers, they use Singaporean government use some employment levy system. So those households don't need domestic foreign worker, then they like when they hire foreign domestic worker, even though they pay like less than 800,000 won, they must pay additionally like 200,000 won to Singaporean government as employment levy. But when the couple need foreign domestic worker to take care of their young children whose age is less than 10, then they can refund it. What they paid for employment levy. So it is a way to control abuse of employment of foreign domestic workers in Korea. Also, they strictly provide special education or the enforcement rule how to manage the foreign domestic workers. This way to avoid any potential abuse of their human rights. So any household that violate human rights violation, then they are not allowed to hire the foreign domestic workers anymore. This is a way to avoid the potential human right abuse or any such a violation. So this is the way how Singaporean the foreign domestic worker employment system. So why not Korea? We can introduce such a very good system, and maybe for the hiring foreign domestic workers. So it is a win-win the policy for foreign domestic workers, also like young couples who need such a cheap labor. Yeah. So this is the reason why I support this current government policy to plan to hire foreign domestic workers. Okay, this is all. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.